Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue with the chapter Resting Hill. Actually, in our life class, we had already started this chapter. We had talked quite summarized the chapter. So today we are going to talk in detail about this story. So Resting Hill, in this story, it's a very interesting kind of story, and a new concept that you find over here is the concept of story within a story. Now, it might sound little unusual to you or kind of strange to you, but the thing here which happens is, let me explain in this way, that this chapter which you are reading, which is allotted to class 6, okay, to you for reading, that is the chapter Resting Hill. This is a story. In fact, every prose, that's a kind of story to you, right? That is a story only. But what happens is, while we'll be reading this story, we'll be knowing about the story Resting Hill. What happens is, we get another story within this story. Okay, there will be another story. Now, basically, if you have read this chapter, then you might have understood by now. And if you have not, then let me tell you that this chapter we get the starting. Okay, from the starting we get the narrator. Okay, the narrator is the grandfather and his granddaughter. Okay, so basically the grandfather is narrating the story to his granddaughter, and the story which he is narrating to his granddaughter, that is the another story which is containing within the full concept of story within a story. So side by side there will be two stories going on. The main story is your story, that is Resting Hill, but within Resting Hill there will be another story going on, which is the story of Vela Panikkar and Aryathai trying to tame a rogue elephant. Okay, this story is very interesting. Let's just quickly start it. Okay, so Resting Hill, let's see. It is adapted from a Sri Lankan folk tale, and the writer is Griffin Odance. So you mark the name of the writer. This is important. Griffin Odance. Now what happens here? An old man and his granddaughter came walking down the country road. They were maybe going to some place. So what happened? As they were walking since a long time, so they got tired and they decided to rest down for a while. So the granddaughter, an old woman and his granddaughter came walking down the country road. Let's rest a minute here, said the old man to his granddaughter as they approached a palmyra tree on a small hill. And while they were passing through, they just decided to rest for a while, and they sat. While they approached, they just came near the palmyra tree beside a small hill. He sat down beside the road and took a green mango from a basket and bite into it. And what he did, the grandfather, he was carrying a basket, and within the basket, as you can see in the picture itself, it shows a lot of mangoes are there. So it is said here that the grandfather took a green mango from the basket and he just gave a bite. The girl took a mango too. The girl also took a mango, saying his grandfather. He pointed to the palmyra tree up on the hill. See that palmyra tree there, he said. So while he was consuming the mango, he pointed towards one palmyra tree, and now you might be thinking that what is a palmyra tree? No, so it's a kind of like palm tree. Okay, so he pointed towards that hill where just beside the palmyra tree was there, and he said, "Can you see the tree there?" And the way there's a wide dip to the ground, as if a giant rock had fallen there. He asked. And he was saying that can you see over that area there is a tree there, and by the side of that there is a wide dip, as if a giant rock. You just imagine in this way, the place had such a deep what is that hole, kind of hole it was there, which feels like if a giant rock, a huge rock, would fall down, then what would happen? Due to the pressure of that rock, it would create a dip on that ground. Okay, so the structure of the ground was such that. Yes, that tree been there forever, said the girl. And the girl said that, yes, I know about the tree. That is there since a long time. No, there was another tree there. I'm not saying about, the grandfather said that I'm not talking about that tree. I am saying that by the side of the tree there was another tree. An elephant had to wait beside it a very long time. You know? Have you heard this one before? Have you heard about this story? So now the main story starts. Okay, the grandfather now he starts his story that he wants to say. The man began his tale. Now the person, this old man, he started his story. Once there was an old elephant tamer who came to live here after his retirement. Okay, starting from now, paragraph number 17, be ready with your pencils, because there are some difficult kinds of name and many such things you will get that you will have to mark down. Okay, once there was an old elephant tamer who came to live here after his retirement. So there was an elephant tamer, you know, who controls or who trains an elephant. Okay, those elephants which are very wild enough and they need to be controlled, so a person is given the duty or the responsibility to control the elephant. His name was Velapanikar and his wife's name was Aryathai. Mark this line. Velapanikar was the best elephant tamer in the kingdom. He could tame any elephant because he was brave and patient. He built a house beside this road a mile from here and he lived a peaceful life gardening with his wife. Now, I think this paragraph number 7, it's better you mark the full paragraph. Why? Because by the side you can write that it will be very good for the character of Velapanikar. So you can write by the side character of Velapanikar. Okay, so and also one more thing, be very clear, be very particular with the spelling of Velapanikar. What kind of exam it might be, online or offline, doesn't matter. If the question is asking what was the name of the elephant tamer, basically it will be of 1 mark. It is only asking about the name of the person. So anywhere if you make any mistake in the spelling, you are not considered. Okay, so remember this name, most of the time most of the students make mistake. So be very clear about the character as well as the spelling of these two names, because these two names, the spellings are a little difficult. Velapanikar and Aryathai. Remember this. Okay, let's come back to the story. So Velapanikar was an elephant tamer who had continued his life, who had worked professionally. Okay, and that means he used to get, he used to be paid. Okay, he used to get salary for his work. But now, while he had become old, his time of serving or his time of working was been over. So now he was to be what do we call this, he was to rest at this time, and that is called retirement. Okay, he had retired now from his work. He was not supposed to work anymore now. So his name was Velapanikar and his wife's name was Aryathai. He could tame any elephant because he was very brave and patient. Now, these two are the things which is very important while you while you are given any responsibility of taming any wild creature. You need bravery. That means bravery or courage. Quite sounds similar. Bravery. Without bravery you can't go forward, and it is not a matter of just a minute, or it's not a matter of 1 day that you just touch the elephant and the elephant is tamed. No, it will take a lot of time. So you need to be patient too. So these are the two primary things which is important for taming, the profession of taming, that is brave and patience, bravery and patience. If one more thing I want to say here, if the question is asked to you that what are the two qualities that is required for for a tamer to control any wild creature, then don't write brave and patient. You rather write bravery and patience. Okay, remember this thing. He built a house beside this road a mile from here and lived a peaceful life gardening with his wife. So after his retirement, he had come in this village to stay there, and while he stayed with his wife, he loved gardening and he used to garden with his wife. One morning, Velapanikar and Aryathai heard a terrible crash like thunder, people screaming, and then another crash and more screaming. Now what happened? Suddenly one morning, Velapanikar and Aryathai, they were maybe busy with their own works. Suddenly they heard a sound, a terrible sound. What it was? It sounded like thundering. Okay, something very heavy was the sound. People were screaming. That means everywhere there was hustle and bustle. Everywhere outside there was so much loud noise and everything. There was too much tension. Okay, outside people screaming, and then another crash and more screaming. Okay, as if everything was destroyed. That sort of thing was happening outside, but they did not know anything because that was just the sound. They could only feel it. Okay, they did not know exactly what was happening. Now they came out. The sounds were coming from across the paddy field. Just by the side of their house, there was a large field. The paddy field was there, and Velapanikar ran out to see what had happened. They were inside their house, and they came out running. Both of them came out running to see that what was happening. What was this thunderous kind of sound? What is the thing that is happening? They were so curious. Even this thing also happens with us, now that we are busy within our house and some terrible kind of any sound is occurring outside, so we run out of our house to just check that what happened suddenly. It was a giant elephant on the far side of the field, and while Velapanikar and Aryathai came out of the house, they saw that in the paddy field there was a giant elephant. Okay, it had knocked down a small house and chased away several farmers who ran splashing into the paddy fields. While Velapanikar came out of his house, he saw that there was a destroying kind of scene, what he could see through his eyes. He could see that a giant elephant was there, and whatever tension, whatever destruction he could do, he had done everything. It had knocked down a small house, just imagine in that way. This elephant, he had just destroyed a small house where we don't even know that how many people were staying, and chased away several farmers who ran splashing into the paddy fields, and he was after those people. So now you just think an elephant, he is chasing some humans. What are the humans supposed to do? Obviously they are supposed to run for their life, no? So they were doing that. Their oxen were running too. Even the other animals, the other creatures, whoever were present, they were also even running. Two howling plows behind them. You know the plows, that means that is used for cultivation, So that means everybody was just praying for their lives. They were running away just to save their own lives. In anger, the elephant turned towards a nearby tree and ran forward at full speed. The elephant, the meaning of wild, the nature, you can just now understand that what the nature of the elephant was. It was so wild, it was so uncontrollable that nobody was able to control this elephant. Okay, it was such kind of wild nature was the elephant. And what happened within that time? It was very angry at that time, and what it did, the elephant turned towards a nearby tree and ran forward at full speed. It started running towards the tree. Now what will happen? The tree is here, the elephant is running towards it. What will happen? Obviously it will get it will get smashed, right? And yes, exactly the same thing happened. It got smashed. The elephant itself and the tree got smashed with each other. The elephant stood there motionless. The tree fell or not, we don't know, but the elephant got hurt. Now what happened? It became more angry. Already it was angry while it got hurt now. It actually got hurt, no? It was running due to anger. Now he had lost all his whenever people are angry, no, what happened, they lose all of their what do you say this ability to think, ability to reason that what will happen. So he didn't have any those kinds of thing at that particular time. The elephant stood there motionless and started to push against the tree until the tree bent back suddenly and fell over. Even you can also see in the picture, in this particular picture, that what is happening, right? So this is what the elephant did. He pushed the tree, the elephant pushed the tree until the tree fell down from its roots suddenly and fell over, its roots torn out of the ground. That means it just totally smashed everything, totally destroyed everything. Velapanikar watched all this. While everything was continuing in the ground, on the paddy field, Velapanikar watched everything. He had never seen an elephant do that before. He had never seen any elephant doing all these kinds of activities. Coming to his senses, first, that means whenever any person just keeps on looking all this thing, which is very unusual for a person to see, he will get awestruck. He will get very, not surprised, I will say, but he will get shocked that what is all this happening. He will be so shocked to even react in any way. So the same thing happened with Velapanikar also. Now he tried to make himself normal and he came back to his senses. He thought that I have to do something. He turned and walked over to the tool shed and pulled out a rope and went out into the field. As he was an elephant tamer, so now it was his duty, because it was even his profession. It had been his profession and he could be able to do this because he had the ability. He had already done this. So as an elephant tamer, what he did, he came back to his senses and he gained his confidence and he thought that now I'll go and tame the elephant. He turned and walked over to the tool shed and pulled out a rope and went out into the field. As he began to run, a thought came to him, a thought he had never had before. He had tamed many elephants, he had tamed many elephants till now, but all of a sudden a thought came to his mind, perhaps this elephant is one I cannot tame. Seeing the raw nature, seeing the wild nature of the elephant, he lost his confidence from within. He lost his confidence from himself. He thought that maybe this is the elephant which I'll not be able to tame. He stopped and turned back. He withdrew his decision of taming the elephant. He got afraid maybe and he returned back to his home. The grandfather interrupted himself and took a bite of his mango. Which is this grandfather? Now come back to the real story. The grandfather was narrating a story. Now the grandfather has stopped. Okay? He is not speaking anymore. He is not narrating any story anymore. So he has interrupted himself. He has taken a leave, or you can say a moment, just stopped himself and took a bite of his mango. He chewed for some time. Then he starts speaking again. An untamed elephant which attacks people for no reason, such as this one did, is a rogue elephant. He said slowly, as you know, a rogue elephant is very dangerous, impossible to tame. And in those days, an elephant tamer who failed to subdue a rogue elephant in less than 30 days was killed. Mark this paragraph. This is important. Paragraph number 13. Okay. So, here we get 3 points. first of all, the first point that we get to know here is what is a rogue elephant. What do you mean by a rogue elephant? A rogue elephant is that kind of an elephant which attacks people for no reason. Okay, and also it is an untamed one. Next thing, it is also said here that what kind of dangerous it is. Why is it dangerous, or you can say what are the characteristics of a rogue elephant. So it is firstly it's very dangerous. Secondly, it is impossible to tame. These are the characteristics of an untamed elephant, or you can say a rogue elephant. And one more thing we get to know here is, at that point of time, on those days, what was the rule regarding this technique of taming an elephant is that any elephant tamer who will not be able to tame this kind of elephant, this rogue elephant, within 30 days will not be able to do that. Okay, that person, that elephant tamer, will be killed. I know that sounds very partial, or that sounds very strange and not proper, but that was the rule at that time. Whichever elephant tamer was not able to tame the elephant within 30 days was killed. Sure enough, a few days later, the king sent this message, and as the king of the village, he knew about that an elephant tamer was there present in the village. So what he did, he sent the message to Velapanikar. And what was the message from the king? Paragraph 14. Velapanikar, catch this wrong elephant at once. You have 1 month. This was written in the letter. Velapanikar remembered how, yes, you have to mark paragraph 14. Velapanikar remembered how the elephant had felled the tree, how the elephant had made the tree fallen down, and how his confidence had fallen away from him at that sight. And while he saw that wild nature of the elephant making the tree fall down from its roots, he had lost his confidence at that time. He went into the bedroom and lay down. He felt weak. He had lost his confidence. He was getting weak from himself, within, okay, from inside. 3 weeks later, the king's messenger came again and asked if Velapanikar had tamed the elephant. Now, how much time an elephant tamer is given to tame an elephant? 30 days. Okay, that means now 30 days time was given to him. The messenger had come and given the message, and then what happened? 3 weeks later, that means how many days has passed? 21 days already passed. After 21 days, now how many days remaining? From 30 days, 21 gone already, 3 weeks gone. So now only 9 days remaining, right? So the king's messenger came again and asked if Velapanikar had tamed the elephant. Aryathai met him at the door. Aryathai answered, "My husband's fallen ill," she said. "Please find someone else to catch this elephant." But the messenger would not listen. The king's order is full and final. Velapanikar is only responsible to tame the elephant. If not, if he will not be able to do that, he would be killed. They would not even understand this thing, that Velapanikar was sick. Okay, even Aryathai was saying this thing, they won't listen that. He shook his head and repeated the king's order. They were not ready to listen, and they just repeated the king's order that Velapanikar would only have to tame the elephant. Whatever his condition might be, they won't consider. Aryathai went over to Velapanikar, who was lying sick in bed. She was worried that he might be dying. Seeing the condition of Velapanikar, Aryathai thought that maybe her husband would die, might die. She realized something had to be done. "I'll try to catch this elephant," she thought. So after dusk, she went to the shade and took out the rope and put it over her shoulder. Then she went quietly out the front gate. Seeing the condition of Velapanikar, she understood that Velapanikar can't do anything, because that was not even the condition of Velapanikar to do anything, because he was seriously ill. And she thought that anyway her husband might be dying. He might be dying if his condition gets worse, or if he is not able to tame the elephant, then also the king's messenger, they are going to kill him. So she thought, anyways, she has to do something to save her husband. So what she did, she decided that she will try to catch the elephant. And after it was dusk, okay, after the sunset, she went out to the shed and took the rope from the shed and put it over her shoulder, and she went out quietly through the front gate. The grandfather stood up and stretched his legs and pointed down the road. With the half-eaten mango in his hand, it was here on this very same road that Aryathai walked along. I'll stop here. While the grandfather was continuing the story, he stood up at that time. While he continued saying the story, he stopped at that moment, and he just kind of, because he was sitting since a long time, so he just stretched his hands and legs a little bit, and he pointed towards the road, just nearby him, the road, with the half-eaten mango in his hand. See, the mango was there within his hand, and he pointed towards the road. It was here on this very same road that Aryathai walked along, and through this area or through this road only Aryathai was walking along. So this is the part till we will discuss. You go through this part up to paragraph 19, and the remaining part we'll discuss in our next class. Okay, so if you have any doubt till here, and I have already discussed the paragraphs line by line, those whichever are the things which I have told you, you just mark them, and if any query is there, then you may ask me in the during the live classes. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.